Hello, welcome back. Today I am going to share my experiences that I have had with the market. It was year 1989. That was the first interaction I had with the market. I had saved 1000 rupees somehow, and then this money was used to apply for an initial public offering of a company in that year. The process was you had to get an application form, fill the details, attach a check to that, go to a banker, deposit the form, and wait for about 3 months to know the outcome of what happened to your application. And there is a probability of you either getting allotment or not getting allotment. That was the process. So the first application I made, I got allotment. It was, like I said earlier, 1000 rupees investment. It was for 100 shares at face value of rupees 10. So on the day of listing, that is when this shares started trading on Bombay Stock Exchange, that was the only exchange those days, 10 rupees became 20 rupees. So the investment doubled in about 3 months' time. This was the first interaction. So you want to get this 1000 rupees, I would like to reveal what was the source of this 1000 rupees. The salary those days probably was around 2000 rupees a month. So how could somebody save 1000 rupees? I had gone to the US as part of my assignment. It was a technical training in the satellite communication area. And my allowances which were being paid for my stay in the US, part of that I had saved, and that money I had used to apply for this IPO. Now, what made me interested in applying for the IPO? There's an interesting background to that. I was raised in a lower middle class family, and I come from not even tier 1, tier 2 city, it may be a tier 3 city in Karnataka. So I studied in Ballari, Raichur, Gulbarga and Hubli. So post completion of my graduation, I moved to Mumbai and then came back to Bangalore in 1988. So I used to read a lot, and reading has been one of my hobbies right from the time I have learnt reading. And inspiration for this goes to my grandfather, who was a voracious reader. So as part of what would have read in the newspapers, people making money in the stock market probably must have caught my attention. I give credit to that curiosity which made me read, and then that must be the only reason why I wanted to try my luck in the share market. Now, doubling of the money you saw, first experience was a good experience, and then this continued for some time. Not that we had a lot of money and there were a lot of IPOs, that was not the case. The first big move came in 1993. 1993, in that time frame, Harshad Mehta, who was called the Big Bull, he was ruling the market. Any company in which Harshad Mehta would show interest, the value of the share would increase exponentially beyond any believable limits. Let me share one particular company's name and then what happened to that share because of Harshad Mehta's influence. There was a company by the name Karnataka Ball Bearings in Mysore. This was a loss-making entity and the share value was probably 12 rupees. Now, when the news got that Harshad Mehta was interested in this company share, in less than a week's time, the share value rose to 120 rupees, 10 times. Such things were very common those days. Any company where this big bull would show interest, the share price would go crazily. So during this period, there was one initial public offering of a bank by the name Nedungadi Bank. This was a Kerala-based bank, and as usual, those days, shares were offered probably at a face value. So 10 rupees face value, and the minimum application number was for 100 numbers. So 100 into 10, 1000 rupees. So 1000 rupees you have to apply for participating in this IPO. So I did participate. I applied for this share, and in 3 months time allotment came, and I was one of the lucky fellows who got allotment. Now is the big part. I had invested 1000 rupees. On the day of listing, the value of the share was 300 rupees. Multiplication of 30 times in 3 months, and there is no effort from your side other than applying for the IPO. So how did this happen? It did not happen because of my effort. It happened because of the market forces, the price and the buying and selling forces which were impacting. So there was a huge demand for this company share, and because people who were allotted were very few in number, and I was one among those who got allotment, there was a huge demand for this share. 300 rupees was the starting quote for this particular share. So my salary was less than 3000 rupees those days, and the profit out of this was almost close to 10 times my salary. Now, if this was possible for somebody who did not have any skill, imagine people who would be experts in this particular area, what kind of money they would be making. So now, did I sell this at 300 rupees? No, I did not sell, because I did not know and I was not an expert. I consulted people who knew more than what I knew, and they advised this share is likely to go to 500, 600 levels, and I was advised not to sell. So I was not tracking this share on a daily basis, because even that access was not so easy compared to what is happening nowadays. But within few months, there was crash in the market. Harshad Mehta suddenly became a villain, and this company share from 300, probably it fell to 100 rupee levels. Still it was 10 times the value of my initial investment. So I did not do anything, I just was holding the shares. Now after this, we became aware, or I became aware, that if you apply in the IPO and if you get allotment, probably there is a chance of the money becoming double or even 30 times. This was based on own experience. What we did was, people who had like-minded and who were willing to try their luck in this particular field, we pooled together our money, we opened a common account, and then we started applying for the IPO with whatever money we could pool. So instead of one person participating, say a maximum of 2 IPOs in 1 year, probably we applied for 10 IPOs in 1 year. Unfortunately, not even one allotment came. But our interest in the market did not die down. So because we had tasted some profit, I continued to read, as was my practice, and then got to know a little more about people, newspapers which publish about technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and even people who are very successful in the market, and investment gurus. So that continued. Now, I came across a column by the name Investment Wizard in a newspaper by the name The Hindu Business Line. This newspaper was published from Chennai those days, and it still continues to be published from there. And Hindu is a reputed business house which is in the field of newspaper publishing. So this Investment Wizard column was probably appearing on a Sunday. So there used to be 2 separate recommendations based on analysis. One was based on fundamental analysis, the other one was based on technical analysis. So these 2 experts would take 1 or 2 companies and then analyze and then predict what is likely to be the price in near future, say 3 months to 6 months time frame. And what was recommended here, probably we would note down somewhere and then check what really happened after 3 months. So to our surprise, many of the things were coming out to be true. So that was like as if an astrologer is saying this would happen, and it really happened. So then we used to see if money was available to invest based on this advice. So for doing that, we had to know how the secondary market operated. So to learn that, I ran around few broker houses in Majestic area in Bangalore, and then did some transactions to get familiar with the process. So now I knew the primary market, which was the IPO route, and the secondary market, wherein you had to physically go and interact with the broker to buy and sell shares. Now I had a free advisory also, which was in the form of this recommendation in the Investment Wizard column. So one big event which I would like to share with you people is this. There was a recommendation about Siemens company shares going to increase by a big factor. So I did not know what was the background, what information the recommender had, but Siemens is a very respected name, and then I had some money to invest, and I did invest. So the entry price or the buying price was 500 rupees per share, and in 6 months time this 500 rupees became 3000 rupees per share, 6 times, again based on somebody's recommendation. So this person must have been having expertise in analyzing the companies based on the fundamentals. So I was very happy that my capital became 6 times, and I sold it at 3000 rupees. After I sold, in about 3 to 4 months time, the share value touched 10,000 rupees, which means what could happen to the value of investment in the market you cannot determine, and there is no upper limit to how much the market can give you. So later, when I was reading Benjamin Graham's book by the name The Intelligent Investor, I came across what he refers to as market's rationality and irrationality. Benjamin Graham says when the market is in balance, which means when there is no huge price movement, normally buyers and sellers are rational. And he also says market gets into irrationality occasionally. So that is when either the market offers a very low price for highly valued stocks, or market offers a very high value for a stock whose real value may be much lower. So Benjamin Graham narrates it in this way. He says there's one Mr. Market. Mr. Market comes to you most of the days as a rational person. If something is real value, say is 10 rupees, he may offer to you at 9 rupee 50 paise or 11 rupees, which is not too much at variance with the real value. But when Mr. Market goes irrational, he may come and say what is supposed to be worth 10 rupees, he says here is something for 1 rupee, will you take? Now if you know the real value, what is valued at 10 rupees, will you not hesitate to buy at 1 rupee? Definitely. But normal world doesn't operate that way. So people who really know the value will grab it with both hands. But people who do not know this will be scared even to buy at 1 rupees. Now the other side of this is when Mr. Market goes irrational and then he goes mad, he will say 10 rupee worth share, he will offer you for 100 rupees. Now in this situation, more people will be willing to buy, because when the prices are rising, everybody is interested, and from 100 rupees you expect it to go to 200, which normally happens in the market. It's not uncommon for something to hit 100, 200, 300, it can go to any level. So in this irrationality, if you are rational, then you will not look at buying whatever Mr. Market offers you beyond its fair value, or maybe small multiples of that. So now, based on my experience, I concluded here is a source of passive income for me, where if I park my savings into the market, if I deploy it, because of somebody else's effort, my money multiplies, and it did multiply. So through this mechanism, over a period of 15 years, I built a corpus of about 30 lakh rupees. Now this is not a small figure to even mentioned. The salaries those days were not very high, and I remember the highest salary I had drawn was about 40,000 rupees per month, that too beyond 1996. So by 2006 or 2007, roughly about 18-19 years time. So slowly whatever I had put in the market and whatever profit I had generated, all that put together grew to a corpus of 30 lakh rupees. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. But then why do people not do? I come back to the original, I come back to the concept which I have shared through my earlier videos, that you need to believe that something is possible. So I believed it was possible to benefit from the market forces, and then if you are partly lucky and if you make effort to find out what might be going in value, going up in value, so you create a probability for success. And I did see success for a long time. So now I boldly say, or I boldly share with people saying market is very generous. This is what I wanted to share as part of my today's interaction. If you like, please watch, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.